Hey everybody, welcome back to Carly K Knits. It has been such a long time. I have had a crazy couple of months and life has finally started to slow down a little bit. And so now I can get back to doing this, which I have really missed over the last couple of months. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a life update, tell you all the really fun things that have happened to me in the last couple of months. And I am also gonna give you a WIP update. I haven't done a whole lot of work in the last couple of months, but I'll show you what I have finished, things that I'm working on. And yeah, I am just excited to be back and excited to keep sharing what I'm working on with all of you guys. So, the first big thing that happened in the last couple of months, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this already, but at the end of April, my husband Chris and I bought a house, and that's where I am right now. I'm in my house, so crazy. We've been apartment people for such a long time, and we finally bought a house. We're so excited about it. We love our house. It was quite a process getting here, and that was the biggest reason that I took a little bit of a break from filming, is because we had to move everything we own to a new house. We didn't move that far away, so fortunately it wasn't a big move in that way, but we had a lot of stuff to move. We had our whole new house to set up, and that's still a work in progress, but we're at a point now where basically everything is set up that we really need to be set up. If you'll notice, this is a different background than you've seen before. This is my new craft room, woo woo. And this is my new little crafty corner that I'm really enjoying using so much. I'll do a full craft room tour one of these days. It's not quite done and ready yet for that. So once I get there, then we'll do it. We'll do a tour. But this is the part that I have finished so far, and I am just in love with it. The other thing that happened was in the middle of May, 2 weeks after we closed on our house, we went on a 2-week-long vacation. We did not plan it that way. That's just kind of how it happened. We had our vacation planned months and months and months beforehand, and then we just happened to find and close on a house 2 weeks before we went on a trip. So that was very chaotic. We basically were in the middle of moving and we said, okay, let's pack and leave for 2 weeks. So that was a great trip though. We went and saw all of our family out west. We had such a great time seeing everybody. I got to see my sister. She is the cat coordinator for an animal shelter out where she lives. And so I got to see her and all of her foster kittens, which was the best. And I got to see, you know, my husband's side of the family, my niece and nephew. I got to see my brother-in-law graduate from college. I got to see so many great things, and I got to spend so much great quality time with everybody. We had a great couple of weeks, and then we came back and had even more moving to do and more stuff going on. But yeah, it was a whirlwind of a month, May was. And then that spilled over into June. And then that spilled over into July, and here I am now. So it's been a lot of setup, a lot of new things. Oh yeah, a couple days after we came back from our trip, one of our cats got really sick and we had an emergency medical situation with one of the cats. She's fine now, everything's all good now. But it was a crazy thing to come back to. I got some new stuff going on at work, so that was a lot to deal with and adjust to. It's been crazy, but everything is a little bit more chill now. I should knock on wood as I say that. Should do that. But I've loved every second of it, even the crazy stressful parts. And I'm just glad now that I have this space and this house. Now that you know what's been going on, let me show you what I've been working on. Like I said, I have not done a lot of knitting in the last couple of months because I've just not had the time to dedicate to sitting down and working on new projects. Most of what I've done is finish things off that have been in the works for some time. And I did start a couple of new things, but I haven't made a ton of progress, and I haven't started anything new that was like complicated or hard. I tried to keep a lot of it very simple so that if I had a couple of minutes to stop and work, I didn't really have to think about it. It was one of those, you know, easy projects that you can just kind of pick up, do a couple rows, and then leave for a while and you don't have to think about it. So let me show you some of the things that I have been working on. One of the things that I did was I finished the Willful Wallflower socks by A Bee in the Bonnet, Lauren Rad. I finally finished the full pair of these babies. I would actually, you know what, I take that back. Finished is a strong word. I do still have some ends I need to weave in, but the actual socks themselves are done and they're gorgeous. I love them and I cannot wait until it isn't a bajillion degrees so that I can wear them. That's kind of the issue with knitting in the summer in general, is that a lot of the things that you're knitting are not necessarily something you would want to wear in the summer, because especially out here, it's not just hot, it is humid. And I don't really want to wear wool socks when it's hot and humid. I'm a no shoes or sandals person 99% of the time. So I'm really excited for it to cool down so I can wear these. But this is like kind of my first lace-ish type venture. So I'm really pleased with how they worked out. There are some mistakes in here, don't get me wrong. I did a lot of learning in the process of making these, but I really love how they turned out. The other project that I finished was this pair of vanilla socks. This is the Vanilla Sock by Crazy Sock Lady. If you've seen any of my videos, I've made this pattern like 100 times because it's, again, one of those patterns that I've done quite a few times now. It is not super complicated and I can just kind of pick it up and put it down and I know how it works, and if I leave off somewhere I know where I'm at. Finished these a little while back. Again, it's too hot to wear them, too hot to wear a wool sock. And I do obviously have some ends that need to be woven in. I also, I'll never learn. I truly will never learn. These need a good block, I think, before I wear them, because clearly I'm not good at measuring the length of my feet and making socks that are the right length for my feet. I always seem to make them too short because I'm afraid of them being too long and being loose on my feet. So I always end up stopping shorter than I should. So these are a little small, but I'm hoping that once I weave these ends in and I do a really good strong block where I stretch them out like as much as I can, that I can get them to be a more acceptable size. But I really like how they turned out. This is just some scrap that I had left over. My husband actually knit his very first knit project. He knit some socks out of this a few years ago. And so I had a ton left over. So I was like, I like that yarn. It's a fun self-striping thing. Great for socks. I'm just gonna make a pair for myself. So that is another project that I finished. Now let's talk about WIPs. The last video that I posted before my hiatus was my cast on and starting process video of the Catknit Pullover by Andrea Rangel. I did work on that quite a bit and I've made significant progress. Not as much as I would have liked because I took a very long break on working on it. So I'm not done with the color work yet, but I am close. So let me show you where I'm at with that. Okay, so here is my Catknit Pullover. If you can see here, let's see if I can stretch it out enough for you to see. I am so close to being done with these cats. I am like 75% done with the color chart on this, and I am, first of all, loving how it's coming out. I am so excited to wear this when, you know, again, the weather is appropriate. Way too hot to wear a wool sweater right now, but it is, the color combo is just gorgeous. I'm really, really into it, and I'm just really excited to finish these cats and get onto the body because I really enjoy knitting color work. It is a lot to think about, and that's really great sometimes because you're really dialed in and you're really focused. I do really like having that challenge of, you know, keeping track of the color pattern and all of that, but it's a rather long yoke. It's not like super long or anything, but it's a lot of colors to get through. And it has taken a long time to get to this point, not only because I took a giant break, but because it's such fine gauge yarn, it just takes a lot of time to make such small progress. So I'm very excited for the color chart to be over, because then I get to go back to stockinette land where I just kind of don't have to think about it anymore. And I'm very excited about that. And now that I have my craft room set up, I feel like I have a dedicated space and I have some time now to really dedicate to making some big moves on this. The next project that I have to show you has been my travel project. I usually have like a home project that is more complicated and requires more focus. So I leave it at home so that I'm not working on it on the go. I don't pick it up and put it down as frequently. Like if I'm gonna sit down and work on it, I'm gonna sit down and work on it and focus on it. And then I usually have a on-the-go travel project. Usually it's something small, something like a sock or a hat or something that's not as complicated pattern-wise, so that if I stop in the middle of a row, it's not that big of a deal. I know where I stopped. This time around, I started with making a blanket, which is not small by any means. It's gonna be a pretty big blanket, but it's garter stitch. I am just doing easy garter stitch so that I can knit, 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 and I don't have to think about it at all. And it started small enough that I could fit it in my little purple backpack that I carry with me everywhere, but now it has gotten big enough that has graduated to my big backpack, my big knitting bag. This is my leftover anniversary cakes in prismatic that I've had for some time. I knit a sweater out of it a while ago, and I really, really love that sweater. I really love how soft this yarn is, and it's acrylic, it's easy, like it doesn't have any fuss about it. So I have so much left over of that yarn that I was like, you know what I should do? I should just make a blanket out of it. And I think I will have enough to make not a huge blanket, but like, you know, enough to be like a lap blanket or something. It's not gonna be like a king size blanket or anything, but this is what I've got so far. This is my nice fun side that has all the ends I need to weave in from connecting different skeins and stuff. But it is big and soft and rainbowy. I started this in June. It was kind of my pride project, I guess, and it's extending because pride is every day. But yeah, I'm really liking how it's coming out. I really like the bumpy garter stitch texture, and I'm excited to finish it. I think what I'll probably end up doing, because this isn't that wide, is I'll probably finish this, give it, you know, maybe another foot or something, and then I might just make it stripes. So I might start another one and then sew them together on the side. So it probably won't be the prettiest, most technically perfect blanket, but it will be really soft and nice to use. That's the most important part of a blanket, for me at least, is that it's soft and nice to use. I don't really care what it looks like. So that's what I've been working on. I do still have my sweater that I'm planning to knit for my friend Adalyn, that skull with the drippies that I've been planning the design for. One of these days I'll get around to starting that, but I, again, need to acquire some yarn, and I need to make some more plans and pattern decisions about it so I know what I'm doing when I start it. But that's on the docket. The other thing that has been taking up some really fun time with my house is that I have a backyard now. My husband and I have started a little garden in our backyard. So get ready for some gardening content. Carly K Knits is expanding into other fun old lady hobbies. So expect to see some updates from my garden. Right now we are growing zucchinis and tomatoes and strawberries. And we've also planted some flowers that are so pretty. I actually, on my wall behind me, you can see I did some paintings of our flowers and things in the backyard, which is really fun. I dabble in watercolor. I'm not very good. I have most of my watercolor art behind me, and most of it is made from tutorials that I found on YouTube, so don't be impressed by any of this. I followed someone's instructions, but I really enjoy it. And having the nature and things to be in my yard has been a wonderful thing. If it weren't for the mosquitoes, it would be perfection. We're working on a solution for that. But yeah, that's kind of my work in progress. My craft room is also a work in progress, and we'll show you more about that when it is closer to done. My garden is a work in progress. I've got lots of knitting works in progress. It's been such a crazy couple of months, but now that we've settled down a little bit, I'm very excited to share more with all of you guys and get back to a regular posting schedule. So I'm hoping to get back to what I was doing bi-weekly on the weekend. I'm still not gonna promise if it's Saturday or Sunday. So have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.